Hello everyone, welcome to the explanation. So in this video I'm going to complete the MCQ series for Nepal Engineering Counseling exam, that is NEC exam. So today I'll be starting with chapter 5, that is concept of computer network and network security system. So in this video I'll be covering 5.1, the whole section of 5.1. So I'll also try to explain a theory plus the MCQ. Okay, so without any further delay, let's start with our MCQ. Okay, so the first topic from 5.1 is networking model. Okay, so here we are going to study in networking model, we are going to study two models here. Okay, so we'll be discussing two models here. First one is, okay, so there are two models in this networking model. First one is client server model and second one is peer-to-peer model. Okay, so what is basically a client server model? So very briefly I'll explain you. So in client server model there is only one server, that is centralized system, and there are more than one clients here. So this is basically a centralized system. And peer to peer, there is no client, no server, everyone is client and everyone is server. It means that all the nodes are equally important. Okay, so this is basically client to server is basically a centralized system and peer to peer is a decentralized system. Okay, so one by one I'll be discussing the MCQ along with the explanation. Okay, so in client server model, what is the role of the server? Okay, so it is initiating the request. No, so what happens in client server, this server is known as the master and client is known as the slave. So client has to send request and server will respond to that request. Okay, server will answer to that request. So in client server model, what is the role of server? Initiating request? No. Responding to request? Yes. So as I told you, both initiating and responding to request? No. None of the above? No. So B is the correct answer. Okay, responded to request. Let's go to question number 2. Which model is characterized by equal sharing of responsibility? Okay, so see the word equal sharing of responsibility as resourcing among all connected device. Okay, so as I told you, in which model we have the equal right? In peer-to-peer model. Okay, so client server no, peer-to-peer is the answer, hybrid no, mainframe no. Okay, so all nodes have equal sharing of responsibility. Let's go to third question. Okay, so third question is, in client server model, what is the primary function of client? Provide service to other client? No. Request service from the server. Okay, so as I told you in the first MCQ, the primary function of client is to always request service from the server. Manage network recursive? No, none of the above. So B is the correct answer. Question number 4, which model is often used in file sharing network where each node has equal status? Again the word equal status has come. So here client to server no, peer to peer yes, each node has got equal status, equal responsibility, centralized no, distributed no. So B is the correct answer, peer to peer. Let's go to next question. In a peer to peer network, what happens if one of the node fails? Okay, so if one of the node fails, so how is peer to peer connected? Like this. Okay, or we can say with each other, they are connected to each other. So the entire network fails? No, only the failed node is affected. Yes, in peer to peer, suppose if this node fails, nothing happened to the other node. Okay, other nodes can still communicate. Yes, this is the disadvantage of peer to peer, that if any of the node fails, it doesn't affect the other node and other node can communicate nicely. So both B and C are the correct answer. Let's go to next question. Which model is known for its centralized architecture where a central authority manages and control the resources? Okay, so as I told you, in client server, this is the master, this is the slave. So it has got all the right. Okay, and this is also known as centralized structure. So A is the correct answer. Okay, next question is, in a client server model, what is the role of client in term of processing? Okay, so executes applications and processes data. Okay, so basically client, the main function of client system or client computer is to process the data or to run the applications. Store and manage the database? No. This cannot be done by a client. So A, till now A is the correct answer. Let's go and see other other that other options. Next is manages network connection. No, it cannot do anything related to management. All of the above, no. So executes application and process data. A is the correct answer. Let's go to another question. Which model is typically more scalable and efficient for large scale network with numerous clients? Okay, so which model is typically more scalable and efficient for large scale network with numerous client? Here, if there are numerous client, we have to control numerous client, okay, in a large network. So client server model is the best option because it is very easy to manage client server model. It is a centralized system, so we have to just manage the server, and the clients, they have got the they have got the function to just request the or response request the request to the server or to process the data. Okay, so here you can see client server is a model which can be used for a large scale network. Sorry, in peer-to-peer net model, how are resources typically managed? Okay, so who manages in peer-to-peer? Who is going to manage this resources? Centralized control? No. Decentralized control? Yes, peer-to-peer is a decentralized control. Managed by dedicated server? No. Okay, random application? No. Okay, so decentralized control is the correct answer. Which model is commonly used in a web application where the user browser interact with the remote server? Okay, so user browser is a client and remote server is a server. So which model? Can you name it? Yes, it is client and server model. Okay, so that's all for first topic under 5.1, that was networking model. If you have any question related to this model, please comment me in the comment box. So let's go to the next part of the same. As you can see, I covered this networking model. Now let's go to the protocols and standards. Okay. Okay, so let's go to protocols and standards. So protocol and standards, they are basically, they are basically a rule or standards. We can say they are basically a rule that is used to communicate, okay, between the devices. We can say they are used to communicate between the devices. Okay, so let's go to the first question is, what is the purpose of network protocol? So basically this protocol was introduced so that two devices can communicate with each other, in order to enable how these two devices are going to communicate with each other. Okay, so what is the purpose of network protocol? To define the physical layout of network, to ensure data security on the network, to facilitate communication between devices on a network. Yes. To manage the network hardware? No. So C is the correct answer here. Let's go to second question. Which protocol is commonly used to retrieve emails from the mail server? Okay, so I think this question is from application layer, so in that I am going to discuss more. Till now what we can say is, in order to retrieve email from a mail server, we have got two protocol. One is IMAP protocol and one is POP3 protocol or POP protocol. Okay, so what is the difference between these two, we will discuss in application layer. So for now, FTP, no, it is for file transfer. No, POP3 is the correct answer. What does the term HTTP stands for? So I think all of you know this, hypertext transfer protocol. So A is the correct answer. Let's go to question number 4. Okay, so which organization is responsible for developing and maintaining TCP/IP protocol suite? Okay, so there are two protocol suite we have. One is OSI, Open System Interconnection, and another one is TCP/IP. Okay, so OSI was developed by ISO, that is International Organization for Standardization, and TCP/IP was developed by IETF, that is Internet Engineering Task Force. So if another question can come like who developed this OSI, so it was developed by ISO. So C is the correct answer. Let's go to another question. What is the purpose of OSI model? Okay, to define the TCP/IP protocol suite? No. To provide a conceptual framework for understanding the network protocol. To standardize hardware component in network? No. To ensure data encryption? No. B is the correct answer, that is to provide a conceptual framework. So it is basically a framework which is used to understand the network protocol. Which protocol is used to secure communication over a computer network? Secure communication. Okay, So over a network, secure communication is done by hypertext transfer protocol secure, that is HTTPS. Okay, so HTTPS is the correct answer. Which layer of OSI model is responsible for translating between network address and physical address? Okay, network address and physical address, sorry. Which layer of the OSI model is responsible for translating between network address and physical address? So it is basically network layer and data link layer. Okay, so here we deal with the physical address and here we deal with the network address. Okay, so this translates between network and physical address, so data link layer is the correct answer. What is the purpose of DNS? To secure communication on the network? No. To translate domain names to IP address? Yes, domain name system. So it is basically used to translate the domain name to IP address. For example, if there is Facebook, so Facebook has some certain IP address, so it is used to translate to that. Okay, yes. Which standard is commonly used for wireless LAN communication? Okay, so Bluetooth, no, this standard is not. Ethernet, no. Wi-Fi IEEE 802.11 is generally a standard that is used for wireless LAN. Okay, remember 802.11. Next question is, what is the primary function of ICMP? To transfer file between devices? No. To manage network security? No. To diagnose network related issues? Yes. So main function of ICMP protocol is to diagnose the network related issues. Okay, so C is the correct answer. Yes. Okay, so next one is OSI model. Okay, so before going to this portion, we have to understand this. So OSI was developed by ISO and it consists of 7 layers. First layer is physical layer, second layer is data link layer, third is network layer, fourth is transport layer, fifth is session layer, sixth is presentation layer, and seventh is the application layer. Okay, so if you have any confusion, because before solving this MCQ, I guess that you know the theory portion of all these topics. So if you have any confusion, please let me know. I'll explain the theory portion also, because if I start explaining the theory portion, it will take lots of time. So I hope you know the theory of this. Okay, so what is the primary purpose of OSI model? To provide a framework for designing network protocol. To specify physical component? No. To define the format of network message? No. To manage network security? No. A is the correct answer. Which layer of OSI is responsible for logical addressing and routing? Okay, so if you have studied the OSI layer, logical addressing means IP addressing. Okay, so IP addressing and routing to provide the route, this is provided always by the network layer. So B is the correct answer. In TCP IP model, what is the equivalent of OSI model in data link and physical layer? Okay, so if you have studied TCP IP model, it consists of only 4 layer or sometimes 5 layers. So in this TCP IP, this data link and physical layer, they are giving a single name, that is internet protocol layer. Okay, so or we can say network interface layer, any name you can give. So network interface layer, it is equivalent to the physical layer plus data link layer in TCP IP. Which layer of OSI model is responsible for establishing, maintaining and terminating the connections? Okay, so this connection is always maintained by the session layer. So session layer is the correct answer. What is the primary function of data link layer in OSI model? Error detection and correction? Yes. Logical addressing? No. End-to-end communication? No. Physical addressing and access to media? No. So error detection and correction, error detection and correction, as well as physical addressing and access to the media. Okay, so I think both A and D are the correct answer. Okay, so here they have given D, so I think both A and D will be correct answer, A and D, because it also it helps in error detection and correction using various methods like CRC, checksum and all. Also it gives the MAC addressing, that is physical addressing. Okay, so A and D can be answer of this. Which protocol operates as transport layer of the OSI model? Okay, so transport layer, it has only 2 protocol, one is TCP, one is UDP. So here you can see TCP is the correct answer. Let's go to another question. In OSI model, which layer is responsible for encryption and decryption of data? Okay, so encryption and decryption means if any data is transmit, we are going to encrypt it, and again in the other side we are going to decrypt the data. So basically this functionality is provided by the presentation layer. What is the primary function of network layer? Okay, network layer, error detection and correction, no. End-to-end communication, yes. Physical addressing and access to media, no. Data segmentation and reassembly, no. So B is the correct answer, that is end-to-end communication. Okay, so can you tell which layer provide this? So this is for data link layer. Okay, this is for data link layer, and this is for transport layer. Okay, which layer of OSI is concerned with translating human readable names into IP address? Okay, so generally this human readable name, that interface, is provided by the application layer. So C is the correct answer. What is the purpose of sorry, physical layer in the OSI model? Okay, so logical addressing and routing, network layer. Error detection and correction, data link layer. Data segmentation reassembly, transport layer. So physical addressing and access to the media. Okay, so C is the correct answer. It means that in last MCQ, yes, in last MCQ here, this is not the correct answer. A is the correct answer. What is the primary function of data link layer? Error detection and correction. Okay. Fine. Yeah. So next is TCP/IP model. Okay, so TCP/IP model again. We are going to solve the questions from the, I think, yeah, we have not solved. Okay, so now we are going to solve the question from TCP/IP model. The first question is, which layer of TCP/IP model are responsible for host-to-host communication and data segmentation? Okay, so host-to-host communication and data segmentation, it means that in transport layer, the data is always in the form of segment. Hence, segmentation is done in transport and internet layer. So 4D is the correct answer. Let's go to question number 2. In TCP/IP model, which layer is equivalent to OSI model's data link layer? Okay, so physical layer is physical layer, transport layer is transport layer, internet layer is network layer, and network interface layer is equivalent to data link layer. So B is the correct answer. What is the primary function of transport layer in TCP/IP? That is data segmentation and reassembly, because this is for network layer, this is for MAC layer, sorry, data link layer, and this is also for data link layer. So B is the correct answer. Let's go to next question. Which protocol operates at transport layer of TCP/IP model? Okay, so there are only two protocols that operates at transport layer, that's TCP and UDP. So UDP is the correct answer. What is the role of internet layer in TCP/IP model? Okay, so internet layer means network layer in OSI. It is equivalent to network layer of OSI. So intent communication, logical addressing and routing is the correct answer. In TCP/IP model, which layer is responsible for providing communication services directly to end user application? Okay, so if you are communicating with the end user, so it is always provided by the application layer. Which layer in the TCP/IP model is responsible for resolving IP address to physical address? Okay, IP address to physical, which layer in TCP/IP is responsible for resolving logical address, that is IP address, to physical address? Application layer, no. Okay, transport layer, no. Internet layer, no. Network interface layer is responsible for translating the resolving from IP address to MAC address. Okay, that is data link layer. It is equivalent to data link layer of OSI model. Which protocol is commonly used for sending email in TCP/IP model? Okay, so the options are SMTP, TCP. So TCP is not used, HTTP is not used, ICMP is not used, so SMTP is the correct answer. What is the function of network interface layer in the TCP/IP model? Okay, logical addressing and routing, no, it is done by the network layer. Data segmentation, no, it is done by the transport layer. Physical addressing and access to media, yes, this is the function of network interface layer. Error detection and correction, no. Which layer of TCP/IP is responsible for formatting data for presentation or to the user? Okay, so again it comes the term user, so anything that comes with the user interface, it is provided by the application layer. Okay, so application layer is the correct answer. Okay, so next we have got the topic that is networking devices. So networking devices, we have generally hubs, bridges, switches and routers. Okay, so which networking device operates as physical layer of OSI model? Okay, so in physical layer we have got hub, it works at the physical layer. Switch and bridge, they works at the data link layer. Router, it works at the network layer. So hub is the correct answer. What is the primary function of bridge in a network? Okay, so it manages MAC address. No. It routes the data. No, it is done by the IP address. Manages IP address. No, it is done by the it is done by the router. It is done by the router. Segments a network to reduce collision domain. Yes, this is done by the bridge. There are two network and it is used to segment in order to reduce the collision. Which device operate at data link layer of OSI and uses MAC address to make forwarding devices? Okay, so data link layer, we have got hub. No, it is for physical layer. Yes, switch is used for data link layer, so switch is the correct answer. Router, no. Bridge, it is not used to prevent collision from the two network. What is the primary purpose of router? Okay, so it connects devices within the same local network. No. It extends the reach of wireless network. No. It routes the data. Yes, it is going to route the data between different networks. C is the correct answer. Which device is known for creating multiple broadcast domain and operate at the data link layer? Okay, multiple broadcast domains and operates at the data link layer. Yes, so hub, no, it is not used to create multiple broadcast domain. It is only be used from single, it only operates at a single device, I think. Switch, it operates, and hub, it operates at the physical layer. Okay, so we have given this data link layer. Switch, yes, it is used to create multiple broadcast domain and operates at data link layer. Next, what does a hub do with the data it receives? Okay, so what is the difference between hub and switch is that when a data is received by hub, it forwards it to all connected device. Okay, but in switch, it forwards it only to the intended recipient. Okay, so if it was switch, B would be the correct answer. Which device can connect multiple network and use logical address for routing? So again the word routing came, so the answer is router. What is the primary purpose of switch in a network? Okay, it extends the wireless network range. No. It filters and forwards network packet from one networking device to another. Yes, B is the correct answer. Which device is best suited for controlling broadcasting traffic and dividing collision domain? Okay, so here again switch is the correct answer. What happens when a router receives a data? What happens? It routes the data between different network. Fine. So last topic is transmission media. So in transmission media, I hope you have studied twisted pair and fiber optics, because mainly the question is asked from there. So what is the primary function of transmission media and networking? Mainly the function is data transmission. C is the correct answer. Okay, so next question is, which of the following is an example of guided transmission media? Okay, so these three are unguided, that is wireless. So A is the correct answer. What is the advantage of using fiber optic cable? So the main advantage is it is very susceptible to the electromagnetic interference. That is, it is very immune to electromagnetic interference. There is no electromagnetic interference, as well as it also provides high bandwidth. C is the correct answer. Which transmission media is commonly used for short distance communication within a building or campuses? Okay, so here twisted pair is the correct answer. We are going to use twisted pairs for short distance. Next question is, what is the main disadvantage of using unguided media? It is very susceptibility to eavesdropping. So we cannot use wireless. Okay, wireless is very susceptible to eavesdropping. Which type of transmission media is commonly used for satellite communication? Okay, so in satellite communication we generally use wireless, that is, so microwave is the correct answer. Wireless, these are the wired media. What is the purpose of shielding in coaxial cable? So it is used to protect against electromagnetic interference. So B is the correct answer. Sorry for the background news. What is the transmission media? Which transmission media is suitable for high speed data transfer over a long distance, such as transo transoceanic communication? So in oceanic communication we are generally using fiber optic cable. Which type of transmission media is used for communication between devices in close proximity? Okay, so if we have something like remote and all, yeah, such as connecting computer to printer, or we are using remote, so we are generally going to use infrared signal for a very close proximity up to I think 10 meter. Yeah. What is the main advantage of using wireless transmission media? So the main advantage is high data transfer rate, immune to signal attenuation, flexibility and mobility. Yes, flexibility and mobility is the correct answer. Okay, so that was all about 5.1. So I think we covered, sorry, we covered this topic 5.1. So in next video I'll come up with topic data link layer, that is 5.2. So if you have any question related to theory or any question related to MCQ, please comment me in comment box, and be safe and study hard. Thank you.